Ja'Marr Chase has been all over the news recently, and obviously not in a very good way. But it's gotten to the point where I feel like we're forgetting he's still one of the very best players in football and capable of dominating any given week. In this video, I'll explain why this week is the perfect time for Ja'Marr Chase to shine once again. Hi again, Bengals fans. John Sheeran of A to Z Sports Cincinnati, and let's talk about the opportunity that's in front of Ja'Marr Chase this week. For starters, the Washington Commanders have arguably the worst passing defense in the entire NFL, and half of their schedule so far has been against the New York Giants and Daniel Jones. The cornerbacks that Chase will most likely see on Monday Night Football this week are Benjamin St. Just and Noah Igbenogany. If he goes into the slot, he'll face a rookie in Mike Sanistro, who's got a lot of promise but isn't all the way there yet. Overall, it's probably the least talented starting cornerback group in the NFL, and the results have definitely shown that already. They are last in the league in EPA per dropback allowed and second to last in passing success rate allowed. What stood out to me even more is that last week, the New York Giants first-round pick Malik Neighbors, he was targeted 17 times, and he was still able to catch 10 of them for 126 yards. 17 targets in a game is absurd, and the fact that he only caught 10 of them is probably more indicative of Daniel Jones' ability at quarterback, but he still averaged over 4.2 yards per route run. The Commanders, who were at home, had no hope of stopping a rookie in his second career game, and he only ran 5 of his 30 routes from the slot. The week before that against the Buccaneers, Mike Evans caught 2 touchdowns, and Chris Godwin put up 85 yards, mostly from the slot. There's no area of the Commanders' secondary that isn't an advantage for Ja'Marr Chase, no matter where he lines up, but this is more than just Jimmys and Joes at this point to me. Take a second to think about the last month for Ja'Marr Chase. He went from practicing basically none of training camp to practicing a little bit in hopes of sparking some talks and negotiations with the front office, to then missing practice again to try to reinforce his point, spending the last week leading up to the season trying to negotiate a deal, not getting the deal done, being frustrated about that, taking out a $50 million insurance policy on himself in the case that he gets injured this year, to getting food poisoning before week 1, and then week 2 happens, he's taken out of the game almost entirely by the Kansas City Chiefs bracketing him with a really quality cornerback in Trent McDuffie, and then it all boils up with him getting back into the news with an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty that hurt his team in the most important game of the season thus far. This is a player who's obviously frustrated, but not to the point where he's just willing to pack it in. This is the player who's frustrated and wants to prove everyone wrong. And what better stage to do that than on Monday Night Football in front of your home crowd against the team that you should not only beat, but bury to the ground against a group of cornerbacks in the secondary that you should dominate. Oh, and by the way, to get your first win of the season as well. Ja'Marr Chase has been all over the news, but not for the same reasons that has made him a star. Monday night is the perfect opportunity for him to just put all of that behind him and just play like the receiver that everyone knows that he is.